So right now, Europe is in the middle of a natural gas crisis. Some people might not get heat this winter. Some people will be suffering of gas shortage, no gas for their car, and how would that actually impact our economy? And in this video series, we're going to dive deep into the European gas crisis for 2021. We're going to explore the reason why this is happening. What are the key countries involved? What is the bottleneck? And what are the potential solutions? And finally, how you can potentially benefit from it as a long-term investor. So here is the agenda for today. And hi, my name is Eric, and I'm a long-term investor. I've been investing for 13 years. So when you're looking at natural gas prices, it was around $2.6 in the beginning of 2020, before the pandemic. And right now is $5.4 today, which represents a 107% increase in natural gas prices. Now, Citigroup forecasts that natural gas prices will 4 times from the price today, which means that in a couple of months or near the end of the year, it will reach $20. Now, what is really the cause? From my research, the European gas crisis is caused by a slow transition to renewable energies like solar and wind. And they also shut down a couple of nuclear plants, which changed the demand from nuclear to gas. And as we are stepping out of COVID, there's also a very high energy demand because a lot of manufacturing facilities are operating at full capacity, and people are also returning to work, which requires more gas as well. So when you're looking at this problem, there are 2 sides to it. First is the production, and second is the demand. Now for the production, I have got a report from IEA, and it outlines the gasoline production by region. So here you can see for the last 20-30 years, that's what the chart looks like, is an overall increase. If you look at the data across the last 5 years, then you can see the production mix actually did not change that much. And when you look at the total production, it is increasing, which gets you to around 4 trillion cubic meters per year. Now let's look at the demand side. And if you look at this chart, the demand is also increasing as well. And if you download the table data and you sum it up together, then you'll realize the demand is 4.9 trillion for 2020. Now they don't have the 2021 data, but I think we are reasonably confident that it is going to be higher than 4.9 trillion. And given that 2020 is COVID, it should be even higher than usual. Now, what you want to observe here is really that demand is consistently increasing across the last 5 years. And if you look at the right column that I have calculated, demand consistently exceeds supply. So that means there's always a shortage in the world, but this year is particularly worse. So then the next question you might have is, well, who actually produce natural gas? Now, when you're looking at production, the number 1 country in the world is Russia. And obviously, Russia being the neighbor of a lot of European countries, they supply majority of the natural gas to Europe because it saves on shipping costs. Now, the next couple of countries, you can see it on the charts here as well, including Norway, Canada, Netherlands, US. And you might be wondering, where is China? Now, this data on Wikipedia is a little bit old, but China is actually on number 25th in terms of natural gas exports. But this number should be a lot higher in the recent years because they have been expanding their natural gas capabilities as well. So if you look at the gas crisis in Europe right now, the cause is really Russia is not providing enough natural gas to Europe, which has a very high demand. If you look at this article from worldoil.com, then you'll see that Russia is actually limited in terms of supply because they need to use natural gas for winter as well. and their inventory is also low, so then they need to focus on filling up their inventory before exporting more natural gas to the rest of the European countries. Well, so the next question is, what about China? If you're interested in learning more about the European gas crisis and potentially how you can benefit from it as a long-term investor, then stay tuned for the next video. Click like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.